Hello. Just proving that I'm not dead. All my messages I get saying, "Are you dead?" So I thought I'd go online and prove that I'm not. And say hello to everybody. Seeing as we're all stuck indoors. I presume you're stuck indoors. How's everybody doing in this fucking weird time? Is everybody under quarantine? I've been inside for 3 weeks. Am I drinking coffee? Yes, I am drinking coffee. I used to not be able to drink a single cup, and now I drink like 20 cups of coffee a day. I wake up thinking of coffee. It used to make me feel like I was going to die. And now it does nothing. Nothing. I feel nothing when I drink it. But I can't stop. I want to know how everyone's quarantines have been all over the world. Can you tell me how your quarantines are going? I'm in London, and we've been under proper... is it martial law? I don't know. We're stuck inside. We were allowed to go out for half an hour for a walk or to get essentials. But basically, we're not allowed to leave our houses. Am I by myself? Yeah, I am by myself now. I've been alone for like 5 days, but I'm self-quarantining for long enough so that I can be definitely safe, and then I can go back to my family's house where my parents are and my brother, and I don't have to be alone. Where is everybody? Let's see. Stuck at home. Has anybody lost their jobs? I'm not sorry not to laugh, but it's just the whole situation is insane. Has anybody lost their jobs? I had a job coming up. I was about to start a movie. There's Millie Brady to make me feel funny. I was about to start a movie and then it got cancelled. Well, it's been postponed indefinitely. Japan is not safe at all, says, what's your name? Miyu Wamoto. What do you mean it's not safe at all? Please explain. What do you mean? I've been furloughed. Seagull MM. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know how they're going to expect us to stay in our houses for like 3 months or longer and not work. I don't know how this is going to work. Although the British government is going to pay self-employed people's wages. And it's just like, where is all this money coming from? You know, it's like hundreds of billions of pounds. And the headline was, like, one day all the headlines were like, we'll do whatever it takes, said the government. We'll do whatever it takes. It's like, isn't that your policy all the time, to do whatever it takes? No. The policy is usually to just do sort of some of what it takes. But now it's to do whatever it takes. So the printing money makes you, like, what even is money if they can print all this money? I'm not complaining, because obviously we need to stop people from starving, but it's just really weird, isn't it? I mean, what the hell is going on? So, is anyone not under house arrest? Is anyone allowed to leave their house in the world? Israel, Chile, Texas, Belgium, Italy, Iran. I'm just going through all the list of comments. Portugal says it's out of control in Portugal. Prom got cancelled. Oh no, Courtney, I'm so sorry. What are you going to do? Are you going to put your dress on and dance around by yourself? That's what I would do. Turkey. I'm out, says Lisa. I don't know what that means. Do you mean like out humanity-wise? You're like, I'm out now? I'm not doing it anymore? Or do you mean you're out of the house? Tell me what you mean, Lisa. Where are you? Someone says they've got to go back to work. That's good. That you still have a job. If I scroll up, does it go to the top or the bottom? excuse me. Graduation got postponed. Florida's on lockdown. Someone says, we get back to war. I don't know what that means. Sounds ominous. I have no A levels. Yeah, what the fuck is going on with people's exams? They said they're gonna just average your grade. Like, the teachers will just decide what they think you should get. That sounds... What if anyone... This must happen where, like, a student really doesn't do well or just doesn't care, and then at the last minute they do a push and they nail their grades, nail their exams. What's going to happen to them? The late bloomers. What will happen to the late bloomers? Michigan is on lockdown. Yeah, those people are lucky because they get an average. Whom you miss the most in quarantine? That's a good question. Lots of people, just people in general. Obviously my friends and family the most, but I think when it's going to be weird when we're allowed to touch each other again. No touching for so long. There's going to be like touchy parties where we all just stand around and touch each other's hair and stuff. They should send a mail in test. You mean, yeah, test in the mail. They should. But I think they're they've got these car park testing places in England where NHS workers and social workers are... Not social workers. People who work in the public sector, what is it called? Are getting tested in car parks. But hopefully eventually we'll all get tested. I wonder how many people have got it who don't know they've got it. How many people out there thought they had it and then maybe didn't have it? Every 2 or 3 days I think I've got it, and then it's probably just from me being inside for like way too long. So also, does anybody know any conspiracy theorists? Because the conspiracy theorists are having a fucking field day over this one. I'm in a WhatsApp group where lots of people say lots of crazy things. I only know 2 people in the group, but I got invited into it, and there's a lot of crazy articles in there. You just have to sort of take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, there's the 5G conspiracy. So 5G, has anybody seen the video where that maybe a doctor, but also probably not a doctor, says that all the epidemics over the last 100 years have been connected to a release of a technology like radar or 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Every time they release, something really bad happens to our cells. But it's possible that it's just a virus and we're getting sick and it's nothing to do with the internet. Possibly. Someone just asked if I can recommend a book. This. I don't know if that's coming up on your screen backwards. It looks backwards on my screen. But it's called Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead. Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk, I think. Maybe it's how you say her name. She's Polish. Anybody who's Polish, can you tell me if I said that right? And it's about... What is it about? It's about a woman, an old lady who is deep in astrology and connected to nature and believes that there's some insidious plot happening with nature where the animals are coming to take their land back. Maybe the animals are murdering people. It's good. It's really good. It won the Nobel Prize, so you know, for literature. So it's got to be good. It's got to be fucking good. TV series recommendations. The Tiger King is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Please watch it if you haven't already seen it. I'm Joe Exotic. I refuse to wear a suit. I've had some kinky sex. I've done drugs. I'm being sued by a bitch down in Tampa, Florida. I'm running for president. It's the best thing I've ever seen. What countries do I want to visit the most? Japan. I would love to go to Japan for the total culture shock. I think that's probably would be the most alien place I've ever been. And for the food and for the zen and for the nature, I'd love to go either in the autumn to see the fall leaves or in the spring to see the cherry blossom. But I've missed it now because this fucking virus. And Brazil, obviously, I want to go to Brazil so bad. I need to go to Brazil. I know you tell me to come to Brazil all the time, and one day I will. I promise you. I swear on all that's holy, I will come to Brazil. And to anybody who was going to go to the convention it's probably like, when was it? It's probably was going to be this weekend, wasn't it? Or maybe next weekend. Anyway, I think that's been postponed till whenever we get to leave the house. I think maybe November or sometime in autumn. So that is still happening. Have I been to Hungary? Yes, I've been to Hungary loads. I filmed The Last Kingdom there for like 3 years. So I've been to Hungary a lot. I lived in Budapest. Very nice city. Beautiful. Didn't like the baths. Baths are gross. I feel like the public bath was solved by the private bath. Now we don't have to have baths with everyone all at once. We can have our own bath. So sitting around in other people's water. Yeah, gross. Are you going to be in the next Fantastic Beasts movie? I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully. I'd love to. Do I drink tea? All I drink now is coffee. I drink 20 cups of coffee a day. And I feel nothing. Have I been to India? Yes. I've been to India twice. Once when I did my first ever job, I went to India, and that was great. When I was like 15, I went to Jaipur, Rajasthan, and Jodhpur. I don't know which place of those places is in the other place, which is the biggest one. Jaipur is the biggest one. And that was amazing. And then I went 2 years ago to India again, to Kerala. And that was great. The food was amazing everywhere. The food in India is amazing everywhere. Like, it's better than any Indian restaurant in the UK. Everywhere you go. It's amazing. I'm supposed to meet you tomorrow. Oh, what? His predicted fate. Well, I shall meet you soon. Sometime. I'll meet you in the future. How am I doing? Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I've been doing a drawing course. Everyone, I presume, has taken up a random habit to do a hobby to do in their spare time. So I've taken up drawing. I'm doing a drawing course, so I've just been drawing. The only thing I can draw is vegetables that I buy from the shop, so I've just been drawing vegetables for like, trying to learn how to do perspective properly, how dimensions work. And I'm going to draw loads and loads and loads of vegetables, and then when I leave, I'm going to be ready for life drawing, where I can draw buns and stuff. So many of you just write statements and not questions. Have I been to Belgium? Yes, I've been to Belgium. I did my first movie. India was first TV thing and first movie I did in Belgium. Do I paint? No, this is what, basically, every time I do anything like an art project, I fucking rush to the end of it and then burn out and then never finish it, which is how I've operated my whole life. So I'm going back to basics. I'm not going to paint anything for ages, because I'm just try and do a masterpiece immediately, and then get pissed off this shit and then never do it again. So I'm going back to basics. I'm going to learn how to draw just squares and cubes and spheres and vegetables for like this whole quarantine. And then eventually I'll let myself use coloured pencils. And then, well, I did use coloured pencils there, but paints down in the future. Yeah, did they bleach my hair for rain? Yes. And can someone like cut my hair if they tell me how to do it? Move my hand around with commands. Can they cut my hair? Because this quarantine hair is getting ridiculous. I really want a haircut. I was thinking of shaving all my hair off, but that seems like quite an insane thing to do when you're locked up by yourself and then you don't have any hair. People will think that you've gone insane. So I'm going to keep it. I don't understand English, as Alina says. I'm sorry, Alina. I'm sorry. In whatever language you speak. Pardon. Have any pets? Have any pets? No, no pets. I don't think I can look after... I've got some plants over here and over there, and I'm just trying to learn how to keep them safe and not kill them. And then if I can do that for a while, I may get a dog. But I can't really have a dog because I travel, and if I'll just leave it for too long, and that's not fair. I want a dog where I can just open my door and the dog runs off into nature. Then I'll have a dog, when I can do that. But living in London, it's a bit unfair if you don't treat them really, really well and walk them all the time. Pro tip, your non-dominant hand makes for an excellent drawing practice subject until you can get around to the bums and stuff. Thank you very much, Stitch79. Yeah, I have been drawing my hand, and I've been drawing this hand like this, and I've been drawing it without looking to work on my hand-eye coordination. And when you don't look, your drawings are shit. Favorite artist? Yayoi Kusama, the Japanese artist who does those infinity rooms that everybody loves and everyone who goes takes a picture and takes exactly the same picture. They're like mirrored rooms, and then you go in for a mirrored door, and when it closes, it looks like infinity, and there are all these little lights in it, and it looks like you're inside of a galaxy, and it's really cool. And she paints those dot pictures, loads of dots. I think she hallucinates all the time, and she lives she's like sectioned herself, and because she's seeing crazy stuff all the time. Not crazy, just she hallucinates. What am I doing today? I'm doing this. I could do this all day and literally have nothing to do from now until indefinitely. What is my favourite language? Well, English, because I use it all the time. But I speak a bit of French, parce que mon beau-père était un professeur de français. Alors, il parle que le français à la maison. So, I know a bit of that. But nothing else. Do you watch Eurovision? No, I don't watch Eurovision. It's not really my thing. How do you deal when out of work as an actor? That's a good question. It's most of the time, because you're just mainly auditioning when you're not working, and it can get it's a bummer if it goes on for too long. So here's a good thing. This is a good book for when you're not doing anything. If it's backwards, this says The Artist's Way, and it's like a classic book of doing your artistic recovery. So you've all got a little artist inside you, and then you treat that artist like shit all your life, and then this book teaches you to have a better relationship with him or her. and you do exercises like every week, and it helps you like figure out what you might want to do that isn't what you're doing. So, and you have to write every morning, write 3 pages of whatever comes up, and yeah, it helps to get you unblocked, unstuck. Do you clap at 8 p.m? Yes, Sissy Donuts. I do clap at 8 p.m. Everybody in the UK claps for the NHS. We've done it twice now, and it's really cool. The first time was amazing. I forgot that it was happening, and then I suddenly heard this noise outside that was like, sounded like really heavy rain or something strange, and yeah, it was everybody clapping. And I live in there's a place where there's lots of houses all together, so it was really loud, very powerful. Feels good when everyone does something at the same time. Sometimes, not when it's a war or anything bad. Do you like animes? Yeah, I guess. I've watched, what have I seen? I've seen Death Note, that was good. I started reading Berserk, which is fucking crazy. But I had to buy them all they're like £10 an issue, and you can read an issue in like an hour. So, and there's like 300 of them. So I don't know when I spend like £3,000 on a comic, but it was really good. And bonkers. Yeah, the NHS makes me proud to be British. I agree, totally. It's really, really amazing. When you really think about what it is, and about I met a doctor like last year sometime, and he was telling me about it. Just not saying anything I didn't know, but just explaining it about what it really is, about free healthcare at the point of service for anyone, no matter who they are, rich or poor, wherever you are, at the point of service, free, and that is a miracle, and it's amazing. And when we all clap together, that's the silver lining to this situation. It does feel quite like people are coming together. Da, da, da. Do I play video games? Not really. I've got to be careful with video games, because especially when I'm here by myself, because I'll just play them and then I'll stop. I won't eat, and I'll just play them for like 2 days. I'll just lose track of time and go into a game hole, and it's not great. So I can't be trusted. I've got Civilization 6 on my iPad, and I played that the other day for like literally 12 hours, and it's not good for me. But when the PlayStation 5 comes out, I will be getting PlayStation 5, just because I want to see what that thing can do, graphics-wise. I'm a graphics nerd. I'm like into technology and stuff, and like anybody know what ray tracing is? Which is the thing that they use in movies now, where like every single photon of light is rendered, right? That's what it is, isn't it? And they're gonna be able to do that in video games, potentially, which would mean that everything will look really good. My boyfriend is obsessed with Civilization 6. You should play him. He will definitely beat me. I am terrible at the game. But the other day I played it, and I was just peaceful all the way up to the end, and then I nuked everyone just for the hell of it. It's because I've been up too long. I've been playing it for 12 hours, so by the end of it I was just like, fuck it, just kill everybody. And that's why world leaders need to go to bed, so that they don't start wars when they get cranky. My 6-year-old is doing coding at school. We never did stuff like that, says Hazel Christ. Hazel Christ? Is that right? Hails thee Christ. Hails thee Christ. Okay, sure. Yeah, it's mad. Kids are doing incredible things from such a young age. It's not exactly the same, but I rock climb a bit, and like now how the rock climbers are starting that so young, how good they're going to be. Like in the 1970s, I went to Joshua Tree and did some climbing, and like the hardest routes in the 1970s are now like something like, I mean, many, many, many grades below what climbers can do now because of all the technology, and the harnesses are so much better and the ropes are so much better, the equipment's so much better, and also just the climbers are better, and it's happening with everything. And now kids are like coding stuff when they're like 4. So yeah, the future's going to be really crazy if we ever get to leave the fucking house. Have I ever had a tooth surgery? No, I've never had a tooth surgery, and I hope that it will never happen. I hate the dentist. I hate the whines of the drill. I don't want it, ever. What is your fave sports? I don't really watch sports. In fact, I don't watch sports. But I like rock climbing a lot. That's a good sport. And squash. I just got into playing squash, which is so good. Because when you do this in tennis and it goes off, you have to go and run after the ball or it's gone over a fence. In squash, there's a wall. It goes right back in. So there's way more good rallies. I like it a lot. And you can talk biz. You can talk the business while you're doing it. Starry eyes or rosy cheeks? Question mark. Says who? Kimmy Moon. Starry eyes. Fave climbing spot. Joshua Tree, which I went to for the first time in December. It was so good. Every day was very exciting. Getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, climbing till 3. It's just like every day you think your body thinks you're going to die, and then you don't. It's great. You like just every minute feels like, oh my God, I'm alive. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Although I was top roping the whole time, so for anybody who's a climber or like not a climber, it's right where someone climbs up ahead of you. The guide would climb up ahead of me, Mike D, and then lay a rope from the top, and then you climb up, and so you're harnessed from the bottom, which according to some climbers is not even climbing, not even proper climbing. You have to climb up with your own rope and clip it in, which is scary because if you have something above you and you can't reach it, if you fall, you're going to fall to your next bit of gear. So if you climb up this high, say that's 1 meter, and your bit of gear is there, you're going to fall 2 meters, which I've just started doing, and it's terrifying. Now, if you get that thing where you try something, and then suddenly it puts in perspective how amazing the people who do it are at that thing. Like I'm doing a bit of drawing, and suddenly now every artist ever just seems like profoundly brilliant, more brilliant than before. Same thing with climbing. I've tried it now a tiny bit. Now I've rewatched Free Solo, and that's just the most mad thing ever. List of things you want to do when quarantine is over. I want to go to a party, have dinner with my friends, see my family, go for a run in the park, and be able to just walk around and not feel paranoid about getting a virus. Please. Do you play an instrument? Yeah, I play the guitar, which is there, but the thought of being on Instagram Live and being like, here's my guitar, is like, is the worst, so I'm not going to do that. But yes, I do play guitar. Hello, Laser Julia. Long time. How are you? Yes, let us have a Camden Crew Zoom. Please. Do you play piano? I was about to do a movie where I was going to play a person who plays the piano. So I was learning a bit, and it's really hard. I don't have the coordination for both hands. Guitar, your hands are doing similar things at the same time, but piano, you're doing two different things. I did not like it, and I was bad at it. And I was just thinking like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'll learn how to play the piano well enough to play this guy who's like an actual composer in like 2 months, and I did not get good enough. I was still playing like Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I play it for I borrowed my friend's music studio and just sit and play Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head for like 8 straight hours and try and sing. Because yes, the question, do you sing? I do not sing, but I have to sing in this film, so I might learning how to sing and like putting the resonance in my head and trying to get the sound to go behind my eyes. I've had singing lessons, and it's like, it seems like it's this thing that anybody, you can either just do or you can't do, but actually you can learn, and you can like learn to take the sound and put it behind your eyes in your head. But I still find it a bit, I've got to just get over the embarrassment of going fave podcast in Spotify. I really like Radiolab, This American Life, Gossip Mongers. It's gross, but it's really, really funny. I'm listening to Congratulations a bit with Crystalia, who I like sometimes, and then I don't like, but I guess that's like everybody. Yeah, they're my fave. Have I ever been to Russia? Says PK. Lisa. No, I've never been. I'd like to go, but it's not on the top of my list, but it's on the list. Can you tell us more about the movie Piano Guy thing? Says Celeste. I don't know whether I can. I never know what the rules are. But it's to play a composer. Can I talk about it? I don't know. Let's just wait. I'll tell you about it later when I know I can talk about it, because, I don't know, it's hard for... This film's been postponed, and that must be really hard for the people involved, so I don't want to just go shooting my mouth off about something that, like, is in limbo at the minute. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'll tell you about it when I can. Do I like Kelly Clarkson or peanut butter and jelly better? Is peanut butter and jelly a person that I don't know about, or are you talking about sandwiches? Because I like peanut butter and jelly. I don't know that much about Kelly Clarkson, but she seems nice. But I have a stronger bond with the peanut butter and the jelly. We've known each other for a long time. Hogwarts house. Well, I play Dumbledore, so, you know, Gryffindor. How do I make my coffee? Black, with no sugar. Ever done any TikToks? No, I've not done any TikToks. I'm like an old man. You know, I've got the soul of an old man, so I don't like it. Too short, too small. Things need to be longer. Will you join the new FB movie? Oh, I thought you meant the Facebook movie. I was like, God, that sounds awful. But you mean the Fantastic Beasts movie? Yes, hopefully, if they will have me. Not up to me, but obviously I would love to be in those movies. They are excellent. And talking about like great, you know, technology, like amazing graphics, just being backstage and that kind of thing, and seeing how like the amount of work that goes into the visual effects is like astounding, and it's really cool to just be around briefly. So yeah, I would love to, any time that I can spend in that world is fantastic. Do I like astronomy? Not really. Not really my bag, but this book is good. And this is about astronomy. Oh, you said astronomy. Yes. I thought you meant astrology. Not so hot on astrology, but this is about astrology and it's good. And astronomy Yeah. I've only looked for a telescope like twice, but both times were very good. Have I been in touch? Ooh, shit, that's my house. That's my kitchen. How did I do that? Whoops. There we go. Have I been in touch with any of the Raincasts? Yeah, I saw Caitlin and Anna Popwell when I was in Los Angeles. Please consider to do a podcast. Yeah, I would love to do a podcast. I tried to start a podcast, but it was hard. You think that it's just talking, but it's not. It's the same. You know how a good DJ can talk right up in the intro just to when the song starts, and then the song begins, and they don't have to think about it. It sounds so seamless. It's kind of a bit like that. You just try and talk, and what's difficult about it is, like, if you're not an expert on something, but you're also not an idiot, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? If you're an expert on something, then people want to hear you because they're like, oh, that's just his opinion. And if you're like just an idiot, then it's really fun to listen to. But if you're just sort of a person who knows a bit about stuff but not really anything, like, what is there to talk about? I mean, I know everybody talks on podcasts, but I found that when I tried to do it, I started talking in like a professor's voice, like I really knew what I was talking about, to make up for the fact that I didn't know what I was talking about. Also, every time you say something and you're like, well, if you think about this, and then you're like, actually, that statistic that I'm about to say, is that real? Did I make that up? Did I dream that? What is 1994? Was it 1993 that happened? You realise you don't actually know what you're talking about when you put it under the scrutiny of a microphone. So I need to know what I'm talking about in order to do what I think. But your podcast I'd love to listen to your podcast about the climate change or environment or something like that. I think it would be unbearable. I think it would be insufferable after about 10 minutes. It's really difficult to talk about that subject anyway without sounding like a preachy bastard, and it makes people very emotional, and you get a lot of like just creates this like intense, violent reaction from some people. So I think unless you really know what you're talking about, then it's probably not a good idea. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Have you seen the 1917? I actually have seen the 1917, weirdly, because that's not really what I listen to, but I went a while back for one reason or another, and they were actually really good. And now that I've tried singing, I watched someone like the 1917, I'm like, wow, that's really impressive. Peru is very scary. Luciana, what do you mean when you say that? Do you mean in general? Or do you mean right now because of the virus? Have I seen Parasite? Says, do I need to read people's names out or I just say the question? I can't even read that name. What's that? Layla Candy. I have seen Parasite. I saw it the other day, and it was built up so much for me by people. I missed the cinema, like the main, when everybody saw it, basically. I missed that time, and it took me ages to see the film. And so it's just been built up so much that when I saw it, I was like waiting for this amazing thing to happen, because everyone said it's the best film ever. So I was waiting for the moment where it's like, okay, it's going to be the best film ever soon. And actually it was just a really, really, really good movie that I was like, I ruined with my expectations by being like, when is the moment going to happen where it's like the best thing ever? There's a lesson in expectations. Don't have any expectations. Lower your expectations and then you will be happy. You should post a different random subject every time you do one, and it could be about like your travels or experiencing. Yeah, but talking about podcasts, I don't know. Maybe. I'll think about it. Do you cook? Yeah, everybody cooks now. I do cook. I just made a bean tagine, which I ate. Now I'm drawing, this is the only time where I'm drawing all of my meals and then I'm eating my meals. So I draw the courgettes and then I eat the courgettes. I draw the pumpkin, I'm going to make pumpkin soup. It's a way to like honour the vegetables, you know, like when we lived in caves and we would honour the animal. We would eat the buffalo and we would honour it in a meal. And I'm doing the same thing, but with drawing. I'm drawing my courgettes and I like learn the form of the courgette. I'm like, what are you made of? What is your form? And then I consume the form and then I know the courgette in my mind. Draw your vegetables before you eat them. I was also like cutting up the peppers like in a certain way so I could be like, how are you made, how do you form together? All your bits, cut them into cross sections and then you can see what you were trying to draw. Like Leonardo da Vinci did with the bodies. I'm obviously not saying I'm like as good as that. I'm just saying he did it and now I'm doing it. There should be a film like that, Vicky says. I don't know what you mean. Which bit? The bit where I cut up all the vegetables. I don't know if that would be a really good film. A man just slicing vegetables into smaller and smaller cross sections until eventually it goes into 2 dimensions instead of 3. Are you quarantined alone? Can't you tell by what I'm saying? I'm talking absolute nonsense. What song reminds you of your childhood? Says Jade. JD? Jade? Don't Eat That Yellow Snow by Frank Zappa reminds me of being like 12 or 10. And what are they called? The Penguin Cafe Orchestra? Is that what they're called? The song with that thing that's not an accordion, but it's like an accordion. Can your collective knowledge tell me what I'm talking about? It's like not an accordion, and they're called like the Penguin Cafe Orchestra, I think. And it's like banana, 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 banana. It's great. You should do a live video while drawing and cooking. But everybody's doing this kind of thing, isn't they? Everybody's like suddenly like doing their own chef show. I mean, I could, I suppose, but I could also sit here and play the guitar, but I'm not going to do those things, I don't think. I have to draw the line somewhere. If I shave my head and I start doing my own cooking show in isolation to my phone, I think I'll have crossed a line. I have to draw the line somewhere. And it's there, you know. Drawing my vegetables, one thing. Showing you me drawing my vegetables, cut them up into small slices, making a tagine, shave my head. Too much. Have I watched Fleabag? Yes, it's brilliant. As everybody knows, it's so good. During the quarantine, what you missed the most that you took for granted? What do I miss the most? Human contact. I don't know if I took that for granted though, but probably I did actually. Okay, so this is something that happened to me like last year. Was it last year? What month is it? My God. When is now? What is now? Yeah, it was definitely last year. I went to the Pyrenees Mountains and I did a vision quest where I didn't eat any food. See, this is a kind of on par thing to do with shave your head and do a cooking show and show everyone the pictures of your vegetables. But I didn't eat any food and I sat in the mountains for like 5 days not eating any food. Having a vision quest. I think traditionally the vision quest you don't have any clothes or like a tent, but I had clothes and a tent. And that taught me about taking things for granted. My God. Oh my God. If you don't eat any food and you sit by yourself in the mountains for 5 days, you really understand how good every fucking thing is. It's amazing. Everything is amazing. Honestly. Like, I used to complain about airports and be like, fucking airports. It's too many people. this building was built. I didn't have anything to do with it. It's there. I get to go there for almost no money and fly to anywhere in the world. That's amazing. Like, and be like, oh, my phone, spend too much time on my phone. Look how amazing phones are. This is amazing. You know, all this stuff was built. I didn't have anything to do with it. All the infrastructure, it's just, the world's amazing, and I'm not going to take it for granted anymore. That's what that taught me. My friend Arnis has just came in. Hello, Arnis. I think is there a delay between when I say things and then when you, so I can't quite like just have a quick conversation with you, but I'm trying. Are you living in the US or the UK? I live in the UK. I live in London, England. I'd like to do a Bear Grylls on a mountain, but I lack the credibility, says Laufe. I'm sure you have just as much credibility as that man. He's just a man with a camera. He doesn't have any, what's the word? Like, jurisdiction? That's not the right word. He's just like a man with a camera in the mountains. You can go and do that, you know. He doesn't have any special skills. Well, the whole show is about how he has special skills, but, like, he doesn't have any... Does he have qualifications for the... I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? He's just a guy with a camera who eats slugs. He's not like a... I don't know, he doesn't have a degree in, like, the forest. Do you like classical music? Yeah, I do like classical music, but I never listen to it and I don't know anything about it. But when it's on, I'm like, yeah, that's great. But also when I listen to it for too long, I'll go on Spotify and find a classical music playlist and then play and then read a book and listen to classical music, and I'll love it for like 20 minutes and then it will start to sound a bit much. I have to turn it off. Yeah, he's trained in the SAS. Fair enough. Yeah, he's trained in the SAS. So what? Big deal. But he's just a guy from the SAS who goes to the woods. You know? What's the difference? Apart from the SCS massively prepares you to be in the woods. Do you practice yoga? Says who? Martiva. I'm going to say that's where your first name stops. Martiva Lassina. I don't. Not really. No, I've done it a bit, but I don't love it. I don't like the pace of it. I know the whole point of the pace is to be like slow, and I get a bit like, come on. So the last time I went to a yoga class, it was all women and me. And I know that doesn't really matter, but I really felt like I was in the wrong room. It was like 25 women and me, and I just felt like I was in the women's bathroom or something. Like, I don't know, is this right? And the yoga was very female energy orientated, about like sort of feeling the female force and like opening up the hips. And I think I'm in the wrong room. I don't think I'm meant to be in here. That was the last time I went to a yoga class. The teacher tried to make me feel better by saying like, "Hey, Toby, and you know, open up your hips and like feel the," but I still felt like I shouldn't be in here. Do you do martial arts? I've tried. If Arnis is still in here, me and Arnis, he's really good at kickboxing, and I tried to do some kickboxing. But shins, bad on the shins. Fucking kicking a bag all the time, hitting your shins. It hurts. Also, the moves are just like, when you like start learning how to elbow people so that you can like get them in the eyes with your elbows. I don't like it so much. But I like boxing. I've done some boxing. But the difference between like doing a boxing class and then like actually being in a fight, I'm massively underprepared to be in a fight. Massively. Even when I was doing like Muay Thai training, and the guy would just come at me with a what are they called, like a pool noodle, and just come at me like that, and I just have to dodge out the way. My brain would break. I used to go to The gym is not running at the minute, but this gym I go to, I watched this guy doing like conditioning training for a boxing fight. He's a professional fighter, and he fought like 10 guys non-stop for 3-minute rounds to condition his body to fight one guy. That was unbelievable. Same thing as with the drawing and the climbing, and then like now I've tried boxing once or twice. When I watch someone do something like that, this video is making me realise that I shouldn't drink so much coffee, because I keep like being unable to speak from the amount of caffeine that I've had. Maybe I need to. I've been in isolation with no one around. I can drink like 20 cups of coffee and it doesn't matter that I can't speak because I'm like. But now I'm trying to talk to you and I can't. Do you watch The Tiger King? Yeah, it's so good. I love it so much. It's just, it's the best. I love when documentaries like start for one reason and then end up being another thing. And hey, Steph, how you doing? And yeah, it's just the best. Yeah, I love it. Anyone who hasn't seen it, just go and watch it right now. Just do it in one sitting and come back. It's so good. Have you been to the Netherlands? Yeah, I've been to the Netherlands. I've been to Amsterdam a few times. Do you know BTS? Is that K-pop band? Am I right? The one with like 50 people in it. Isn't BTS the guy and he said that he had the coronavirus the other day and then he didn't as an April Fool's? Badly aimed joke. Not that great. Have I seen Outlander? I have not seen Outlander. There's so much stuff I haven't seen. What says Steph? Steph's in here. She's my friend. What does she say? Have you watched yourself in Rain is my favourite question. To answer your question, Steph, no. I don't watch myself. How long shall I do this for? Should I do this for like, try and do the longest live stream? What is the longest live stream? Someone find out that and then I'll try and beat it. I'll do a 7-day live stream where I go slowly insane in isolation. Hoarding a problem right now? Hoarding a problem right now? Says Fraser Kathy Fraser. Not a problem. No, I do not hoard. I'm actually trying to like get rid of all my stuff, like Mary Condé says. Although I'm not sure about that, because she's just like, take all your stuff, just throw it in the bin. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do with your stuff, is it? Just throw it in the bin? The longest was 161 hours. What's that in days? 5 days is 100. What is it? That's like a week or longer. Okay, maybe I won't. Am I meditating during this quarantine? I'm trying, but it's hard to, even when I've got nothing to do, and when I sit down, I'm like, oh, come on, you know, which is like how my brain works when I like try and meditate. And so I wish I was more still, but that's the point of practicing. But you know, the constant like fight between like, just do it, and then being like, but what's the point? It's like, just to do it. And you're like, yeah, but why? And you're like, well, I've just spent 10 minutes arguing with myself in my head, so what was the point in that? And then I'm more angry than when I started. Yeah, almost a week for a live stream. That's so long. What was it? What was the live stream of? Was it something interesting? Have you seen that film? If you want a movie recommendation, this is I saw in an interview with Quentin Tarantino. He was giving his movie recommendation. It's called Hands on a Hard Body, and it's a documentary about people trying to win a truck by just touching the truck with their hand. And the person who touches the truck for the longest wins the truck. And you'd think that would be boring, but it's not. It's really good. It's like the simplest story. And this is a walnut. Have I seen Jojo Rabbit? No, I haven't. I've missed a bunch of the really, really good films this year. I don't know why. Have I ever been in Italy? Yeah, I have been in Italy several times. My family's Italian on my mum's side. Deep dip doop boop beep boo. Have I ever listened to Taylor Swift? Yes. But it's not really my bag. I'm not really into pop music that much. But now I've tried singing, I'm like, oh my god, she's a queen. Oh my god, she's amazing. And I saw that documentary about her, and then I was like, yeah, she's, you know, that's the thing. If you want to be the best at something, you just got to do it way more than anyone else. You got to start really young and just do it all the time and be obsessive, and then you will be at the top of it, at the top of what you're doing. And that's what she did, and she's amazing for that. So hats off to her. Best concert I've ever been to. This is so teenager of me, but I've seen Slipknot like 3 times, and they're just like the best gigs. I love them so much. Yeah, I just really love Slipknot a lot. Will I still be broadcasting live? That is not a proper question. I don't know what you mean. Will I still be? I don't know. No, I don't know what you mean. Do you like poetry, says Martina. I don't know. I never read it. Like, I never sit down with a book of poems and read them. And I often find them a bit like, what? I can be like, art in galleries and poetry make me feel a bit like, what? But the film that I was about to do was about a poet, and his poems are amazing, so I guess I like good poetry. All questions on poetry coming in at the same time. Strange. Do I like burlesque? Yeah. I mean, I've only seen like... How many burlesque shows have I seen in my life? Like 3? But they're all great. Yeah. Who doesn't like burlesque, actually? What is your favourite FC Gatto Pero debut? It will be mine when I do it. I can't wait for my first FC Gatto Pero game. That's what I miss most about quarantine, is not being able to play in FC Gatto Pero. That was a joke for just me and one other person. A caliente. Now that Toby's in the room, like, he's a friend of mine and he's an artist. Look, I've just been drawing vegetables all the time, Toby. Loads of drawings of vegetables and wine bottles. Are you looking for LMSR? What is that? Should I know what that is? I don't know what that is. LMSR? LMSR? Tell me what that means, please. Please post more photos. You mean on Instagram? I know I'm really bad at it, but I just like I'm not like in the game of Instagramming, so I just don't do it. Sorry. Every time I get a picture, I'm like, is this worth? And then I don't. And then I'm like, you got to have the momentum to be like, look, I'm taking the thing and I'm doing the yeah, and I just don't. So I never do. Oh, LMSR, Long May She Reign. Yes. Sorry, I didn't know.